Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 27th episode of Nina and Knitting. My name is Nina, and I live in Jyväskylä in central Finland. I'm married, we have two kids, and a dog who's walking around in here. As you can see, uh, I'm outside again. It's not ideal at the moment because it's snowing. I'm not sure, I don't think you can really see it on the camera, but it is. I'll have to see how my tablet computer will hold this because, as I've mentioned before, I record with my tablet. Really professional and high tech um, podcast. Um, yeah, welcome. Today is December 18th. It's Monday, and it's a cloudy day. We've had cloudy days for quite a while, but as you could see in the intro, we've got snow. We had a snowfall last Tuesday. We got quite a bit of snow then, and everything looks pretty now. The temperature's not bad. It's about -1 degree Celsius, and I checked. It is about plus 30 degrees Fahrenheit. And let me just tell you, the difference between Fahrenheit and Celsius, I don't get it. Because we have all the logical uh, numbers in the Celsius degrees, like the point where water turns into ice or ice starts to melt is one is 0 degrees Celsius. That's plus 32 in Fahrenheit. Uh, the point where water starts to evaporate in normal situations or circumstances, that's 100 degrees Celsius. And in Fahrenheit, that's 212. Just, So I pity all of you who have had to learn that at school. It's so easy for us who use the Celsius degrees. I'm sorry about the lighting. It's not good. I'm gonna try and take some pauses every once in a while and wipe the lens of the camera. But yeah, it is. It's nice. It looks nice. It's about a little past 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so we are losing light also. Around 3 p.m. it'll be really dark. Just for a few days, I think, until the 20th when we have the mm, winter, um, whatever, the day when solstice. No, that's not solstice. You know, the the longest day of the year when we start getting more and more daylight every day. I could put it on the screen what it's called. I forget. Yeah, you guys, Christmas is just around the corner, and um, I don't want to insult or you know uh, make anybody feel bad if you don't um, celebrate Christmas. I'm sure you know that there's this thing called Christmas, and it's just around the corner. So uh, we're not religious. Haven't talked about that too much on on my podcast. It doesn't. It's not the topic here, but we do have Christmas. Christmas for us is more about mm, you know being together with the family. We're going to my mom's and so forth. So being together, having good food, uh, and of course Santa presents for the kids. So it's all nice. I'm not sure if I'll be able to take any videos or photos this year, but we'll see. I'll show you maybe something about how our Christmas went in the next episode. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Today, I'm just checking that the dog won't. go stray too far away because we're not far from where I live for our building, from our building, and you know, there are people around here. Yeah, today I have three finished objects. I think three or four, depending on how you look at things. And I have three whips and some acquisitions, yarns, and something else yarn related. And then, of course, I have the cow prizes for my Hats All Folks cow. But I'm just gonna wipe the the lens and then we'll be uh, checking out my finished projects. Okay, my first finished object, or objects really, I don't have them anymore. I showed you last time my uh, panda crochet pen, let me check, crochet baby panda booties by Croby Patterns. I showed them to you last time I was making the pandas, and I don't think I was ready then, or I had them ready then, but um, I have now, and I think I mentioned that I'm gonna make a pair in pure white, or well, not pure white, but in the natural white color that I had, and they were supposed to be polar bears, but I do have a picture of the two pairs. I'm gonna insert it here. So the yarn I used is Novita Cotton Soft. Yeah, and the hooks I used were 3.5 millimeter and 3.0 millimeter hooks. And yeah, I we went to see the newborn twins a while back, and we took the booties to them. They were really cute, and I think they fit the twins right now, but they won't for after a while because they were so teeny tiny, as were the twins, cute and small. My I gotta mention, I have my show notes here, and they're gonna get really wet because it's snowing so much. Right. Then my second or third, if you sort of count the panda and the polar bear booties as two projects, my third or second finished object is finally a beanie for my niece, or one of my nieces. And here it is. I was knitting this last time. The pattern I used is Basic Hat by Sarah Heckman. And the yarn I used here is Sunless Gone Alpaca, which is 70% alpaca and 30% um, nylon. I was somewhere around here in the rib last time I podcast, but then I tried it on my daughter who's 5 years old, and this is for my niece who is 7, and it was just way too small. I had the this pattern is free on Ravelry, so I'm not giving away anything uh, too much. But you know, I started with 112 stitches, I think, last time. But yeah, it was way too small. It was even a little tight on my daughter, so I ripped it back and I cast on 120 and uh, used my 3.0 millimeter. So that's let me check. No, I haven't put it here. Maybe US size 4 millimeter DPNs here for the rib, and then 4 millimeter um, DPNs for the stockinette part. And this is, of course, supposed to be a folded brim. My nieces wanted white hats with no cables or anything. So yeah, this is it for the smallest one, because this turned out to be the smallest. Uh, yeah, that's it. I really like the yarn. I think it's nice and soft. This is pretty. Oh, my feet are hurting. This is pretty pure white. Then I have another beanie that's going to get really wet. We're using the same pattern, but not the same yarn. So I think I wrote it down somewhere. I used 57 grams of this yarn. So it was, because there were 50-gram balls, then yeah, I had to start a second skein or ball to when I was knitting this. And then I went to one of my local yarn stores here in Jyväskylä called Neulos, which is a fabulous store with the store owner, who's really really nice. Yeah, so yeah, uh, and I told her that yeah, I'd like to get some DK Weights yarn, white, and this is what I bought from there. This is quite a bit looser. Um, it is the same 120 stitches here in the rib, 3.0 millimeters, so that's US size 4. DPNs here on the rib, and then 4 millimeter, which is US size 6 on the stockinette part. And yeah, if you compare the two, this is a lot looser, and the yarn felt thicker or heavier. And yeah, this pure white, the Sandnes Garn Alpaca, is smaller, quite a bit smaller. But yeah, so my feet are going to sleep. I'm kneeling down here. Yeah, so this will be for the oldest of my nieces. So she's 12, I think. Yeah, 12 years old. This is for her. I used tubular cast on here at the edges. Okay, can you see that? No. Nope. 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 Anyway, so tubular cast on here, and yeah, 120 stitches. I'm going to knit a third one, and I used 68 grams of the baby alpaca. So this is 100% baby alpaca. It didn't really have a label, just a small tag saying that it was 100% baby alpaca and that they were 200 meters in 100 grams of, of the skein. So I have some of this yarn left, and then I have some of this yarn left. So what I'm gonna do, or I'll try to do, is cast on 116 stitches with this yarn, and then I'm gonna knit the rib for the middle piece, and then I'm gonna do some helio stripes or something, alternating this yarn and the other one in the stockinette part. I'm gonna see how that goes and take some pictures, because they are going to be the girls' Christmas presents, so I'll have to give give the beanies to them before I podcast next. I have one more finished object, one more failed project. So I was thinking about what I'm going to give my daughter's daycare teachers for Christmas, because we usually give something. And I've given them hand knit stuff before, And that's what I was going to do this year. And I was okay. I'll just knit one of those grocery bags for each of them. So I found a free pattern on Ravelry called Weightless Produce Bag by Julie Tarsha. And then I had some mystery yarn that I had bought online on eBay. I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago. I think it's perhaps cotton. The ball band was all in Chinese or something, so I don't understand it, and I actually lost it now. But yeah, so yeah, this was going to be a grocery bag, and this is how it turned out. The pattern called for a fingering weight yarn, and apparently this is not fingering, this is lighter. Besides, yeah, I know I'm a tight knitter. I could have used even bigger needles. I used, let me see, check, 5.0 millimeter needles for this part, and that's US size 8. And then for the top part here, I used 3.75 millimeter needles, and that's US size 5 according to Ravelry. But yeah, it's teeny tiny. Yeah, you could maybe fit a couple of apples or oranges in it and use it as a fruit bag. Of course, yeah, you could, but it was such a downer that I just couldn't get it big enough, so that I just don't have uh, the willpower to make a few more of these for the teachers. So I'm just gonna buy them something like candy or, chocolate. And this I gave to my daughter. She put some of her stuffy toys inside. She was happy about it, and yeah, one of these days, first of all, I'm gonna start making the stuff well in advance. And second of all, I'm gonna use maybe a little thicker or um, heavier weight yarn so that I'll get the size I want. But oh well, that's it. Those are all my finished objects. Right, my works in progress. And I gotta say, I haven't had too many successful projects lately. Well, first of all, I have mentioned it before that there's this sock knitting competition going on called Sukka Finlandia, which is a bit like Duolta Sock, but the patterns are all in Finnish, and it's sort of hosted on another platform, not on Ravelry. And I have entered or signed up, and I have started some of the projects, but as you may have noticed, I haven't finished any. And the competition, the actual competition started on the Finnish Independence Day, which was the 6th of December. I'm going to talk about that at the end of the episode just a little bit. Uh, but there was a warm-up pattern for it, for the competition, and it's called Keväällä kerran by Lumi Karmitsa, who's a Finnish designer. All of these designed or the patterns are designed by Finnish people, and I have started it. Let me get it out of the bag. I have 2 socks, but they are not complete. Yeah, and I don't have my sock blockers, so they really do look like crap here. Let me just take one of them because I'm knitting these on tandem because, as you can see, I ran out of yarn, and it started to look like I was going to run out of yarn, so I started to knit the second sock, and I'm doing the toe decreases, but I don't have any yarn left. But yeah, I'll just show it to you and then I'm gonna talk about the yarn. So first of all, there's this sort of lace thing going on here at the cuff. The black I used here is Novita Nalle. I was at my mom's, or we were at my mom's when I started these, and my mom knits quite a bit of uh, socks and mittens and all that uh, out of Nalle, Novita Nalle. So I knew that she'd have black, or I assumed she would, and I was right because uh, this pattern called for sports weight yarn in 2 colors, and I didn't want to buy a whole skein of something just for the cuff. The main parts here is, as you can see, yes, some cables and then some lace motifs going on. The heel flap also has these cables and lace motif, and but otherwise it is a normal heel flap and gusset kind of construction. And then the same stuff goes on in the instep. And this yarn here is Järbugarn Mellanraggi. I have showed it before when I had bought it. Now it's here. Um, I wouldn't need a lot of it, and I just don't want to buy a whole skein just to to get this ready or complete. I have asked around a little on Ravelry and on Facebook if somebody possibly had this Mellanraggi yarn, this color. It's color 3, no, something else. Oh, I haven't even written it down. It's here. 28221 colorway. And I haven't had any luck yet. I have PM'd, I think, a couple of people saying that, oh, I noticed that you used that yarn. Do you have any left? Could you perhaps part with it? But we'll see. I just PM'd them this morning, so I haven't had any replies yet. But yeah, not too happy about that. If it all fails, I'm just gonna finish it with the same black that I started with, because since we're going to my mom's this uh, Christmas like we always do, um, I can go to my mom's stash and have some of that black Nalle yarn and then finish the socks with that. Right. So that's the warm-up pattern, and I was sort of thinking that I might give the socks to my mother-in-law because I think she would appreciate them maybe. Right. Then there's another project that hasn't been completed yet. This is the first stage of the Tour de Sock. No, not Tour de Sock, but Sukka Finlandia. And it's I gotten this far. This is how far I got. First of all, as you can see, the yarns are not ideal. The colors, the colorways. This pattern is called In Memoriam, which is Latin for in remembrance, by Tiina Kuu, who another Finnish designer, and she has designed socks for the Tour de Sock also. Anyway, the pattern itself is not difficult. I decided to start knitting the biggest size just because, I might give them to my husband if he wanted them, but we'll see. As you can see, the colors, this sort of self-patterning yarn is Novita Venla in the colorway 834, which is Colibri, that's hummingbird, and this solid blue color here is Ropsfabel in colorway number 103. Yeah, this blue. They should be more different. As you can see, the pattern kind of blends in. So that's my, first problem here. But I wanted to knit them just because I need the practice. I want to improve my color work, and I didn't want to use any really nice yarn because my color work is not good. I'm using my Knit Pro Zings here. I started with some bamboo needles, but with men's size foot, and I'm doing the heel increases here. I started having so many stitches on the needle that I felt it would be safer to use just a little bit longer needles. These are my 3.0 millimeter needles. That's US size 2.5. That's what I use for fingering weight yarn. Yeah, that's my second work in progress, so not too happy about that either. And let's see if I made some other notes here. Yeah, the next stage, the second stage of Sukka Finlandia starts day after tomorrow, so on the 20th of December. And as you can see, I will not be able to finish those before that. So that's I'm gonna fail this first stage of Sukka Finlandia. Oh well. Then my third work in progress, my third fail in a way. I bought this really fun chunky yarn with a pom pom. I'm gonna show the pom pom to you in just a sec. Where's the ball band? What have I done with it? It's just caught up. So this is the yarn. Mondial Lady Pom Pom or whatever. I think Ravelry had it as Mondial Lady. But this is, I think all acrylic. No. 35% merino wool, 50% microfiber PC, and 15% of microfiber PA. I'm guessing they are some sort of nylon or acrylic stuff, but just a little bit of wool in it. But, and with the pom pom, like this red, I think this is faux fur, must be faux fur. Kind of fun little pom pom, and I was thinking about knitting or crocheting, crocheting a beanie, and I think it's called Hot Right Now Beanie or something. I started with a hook that's size 7.0 millimeter, and it's just way too dense. It must be softer. So I'm gonna have to frog this one. Start all over again with a bigger hook. and maybe I'll finish it. There's another dog in there. I'm just hoping that my dog won't bolt. He's not prone to do that. He tends to stay close to me, but I think I have mentioned it before that he is not a social dog towards other dogs. So I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on him. So there we have it. My 3 works in progress, which all are more or less not successful. Oh well, I'll get over it. It's fine. Uh, what I haven't been doing is my yin yang dance, and I got a couple of comments about the sweater here on YouTube last time I podcast, and also in my Ravelry group, which is called Nina Knitting Podcast, and you can find that through the link below here. That also lead to the episode thread with show notes. And yeah, so there are a couple of people who are really looking forward to seeing that project finished, and yes, so am I. So am I really. But just sort of, I actually mentioned it uh, in the episode thread in Finnish, though, that I think I'll just have it as a Christmas Eve cast on and not a real cast on. I'm just gonna knit on my yin yang dance sweater because it is wonderful. It is just so beautiful, and I want to have it finished. It's almost there, so yeah. I haven't knit that at the moment because, as you can see, it's almost Christmas and I don't even have all my Christmas presents ready. And a failed one I was going to make for my daughter's daycare teachers, which is quite a bummer, but well, I'm sure they'll appreciate chocolate too. So that's that. Um, and let's move on to acquisitions. So if you're not interested, you can just hop on over to another episode. So my first acquisition is not yarn, but it is a lot yarn related. I have been um, thinking about getting a yarn ball winder for quite a while now. And when I was in Tampere in the crafts fair, I did go around and to see if anybody, any of the vendors would have had any. And I did see one of them, but I wasn't quite convinced about the quality. And I know that the same vendor would have had a bigger one, a sturdier yarn ball winder, but I know that it costs about 119 euros or something. So that's a little out of my price league, uh, out of my budget. So um, when I came back home, uh, I went online the next week on eBay and I started scrolling down the list of yarn ball winders. Then I ordered one, and actually it came pretty fast. I think it took only like maybe 3 weeks, and I'm used to waiting for stuff to arrive for like 4 or 5 weeks when I order something online on eBay. That is because they're always, they come from Hong Kong or Asia anyway. But this one it came really really fast, and I think I got it on my no on my birthday. But anyway, I got it, and I have a picture here. So I have only tried it once, but it seems to be working pretty okay. I'll have to get used to it, of course. Yeah, so far I'm pretty pleased, and yeah, that's my first acquisition. Something that I have been wanting to get for quite a while, and I didn't want to get anything totally cheap because um, I didn't want to have something that I would have I would be disappointed in right when I got it. So I hope that this yarn ball winder will serve me well. Right. So the other acquisition that I showed you, the yarn with the pom pom, that's something I have bought recently. Then I have something that I've forgotten to show you last time, I think. So this is Nykälan lanka. I really don't have never seen this before. In two different, like this Amanda, this well, self-striping, yes. It's 75% wool, 25% polyamide, and there are about 200 meters in 100 grams. So this is like DK, is it? DK. It's got some beige and browns and all that. I think it looks pretty nice. And then I bought this white Sophia yarn with the same fiber content. The colorway in here is I can't find it. Maybe it's not a colorway, it's just the name. Maybe the Amanda is the striped one and this Sophia is the white one. Anyway, I do think that these would look nice together. I might try it for color work exercise. But yeah, I got it a while back. I just forgot to show it to you. Then something that I bought just a little while ago, I got a ball of Drops Kid Silk. And this is 25% mohair, 75% mohair, 25% silk. And there are 210 meters in 25 grams. I'm going to make a pair of mittens for my younger sister. Uh, she had her birthday just some time ago, and I asked her what I could knit for her. And yeah, I'm gonna pair this with, I think, with some gray fingering weight, I think. But yeah, I'll get to them when I get to them. Anyway, this is a new acquisition, and I really like the color. It's really pretty, really pretty. Color 14. Yeah. And then I have some more. It was, like I said last time, it was my birthday, and my older sister gave me some seitsemänvelistä, Novita seitsemänvelistä, Seven Brothers, and in this colorway 269, I got 3 balls, 100-gram balls of this pretty striped yarn. And I'm just gonna try and find a project to use it for. And then there should be one more yarn. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. Maybe last week, I think, maybe. Um, Lankamaailma, which is a Finnish yarn store, both online and brick and stone stores, had some sort of sale, 20% off or something. So I'm on certain yarns. So I bought this yarn, Dalefalk um, superwash wool, 100% superwash wool, I think. Yep. And there are 106 meters in 50 grams here. And this colorway, this orange color, is just pretty, just so pretty. And yeah, the color number is 2827. I got quite a few balls or skeins or whatever these are called of this. It's like I said, 106 meters in 50 grams, so it's a DK weight yarn. And I'm gonna knit uh, a sweater for my daughter. And if you have seen my podcast before, like last winter, you may remember that I have a whip that was supposed to be a hoodie for my daughter, but she's a year older now. The hoodie will not fit her, so this is some new yarn for her sweater that I'm gonna start knitting sometime next year. I have possibly decided on the pattern I'm gonna use, but I'm gonna talk about it when I get to it. Anyway, so I ordered the yarn on a Friday. I think it was a week ago on Friday, so not last Friday, but a week and a half ago. And I ordered it in the afternoon, maybe at 2 o'clock or something in the afternoon. And I was thinking that I might get it on Monday or Tuesday the next week. But I actually got an SMS on Saturday around noon or something saying that I had a package uh, to be picked up at the post package machine, whatever we have here in Finland. And I was like, what? And yeah, it said that it was from Lankamaailma, so from the store that I bought this yarn from. I was like, wow, that was fast, super fast. So I had ordered it the previous day, which was a Friday, around 2 p.m., and it arrived on Saturday. And no, we don't get post, we don't get mail on Saturday. But yeah, apparently these um, mail machines. I should go and take some video maybe next time just to show you, because if you're not in Finland and if you don't have this system, you have no idea what sort of machine it is. But anyway, so it was very, very, very fast, and I was really surprised and happy that I got it so fast. So that's my last acquisition, I think. Yeah, quite a bit. And I may have ordered some more, but it will arrive maybe a little later. Yeah, okay. Let's get to the CAL prizes. I had a Hats Off Folks CAL going on, and it ended at the end of November. I had two prizes for it. And first of all, there were 48 hats, excluding mine, that were entered in the CAL thread. So yeah, I was pretty good. I know that I think one of the other Finnish podcasters was hosting Chemo Hat Cal at the same time, and it was totally fine to double dip. It's always fine to double dip in my Cals, and there were quite a few Chemo hats in my Cal thread too. So that was really nice. And for the prizes, so I had listed all the finished hats, and then I took random number generator from numbers from 1 to 46, And the first prize, the Malabrigo sock yarn, you've seen it before. If I happen to have a photo somewhere, I will insert it here. But if I don't, then yeah, you will have seen it if you've seen my episode before. So the colorway is called Cereza, which is cherry, and the number that I got was 25, and 25 was a chemo hat from Talvitakki. So congratulations, Talvitakki. Would you PM me your name and your address so I can um, send you the yarn? And then the Cascade 220, which was green. Yarn. That was for number 2, which was also a chemo hat. It was from Bivis, who is Bivy, and she has her Ravelry Bivis Crafts, I think, on YouTube. So would you, Bivy, be so kind as to PM me your um, name and address so I can uh, ship you the yarn? I can't promise that it'll be mailed before Christmas, but yeah, between Christmas and New Year, I'm pretty sure I can get them in the mail if I can get your addresses. Okay, so what's next? Next, of course, like I mentioned, I'm gonna have some more yarn. I think between Christmas and New Year, or maybe next year. I have ordered it already. I just asked them to hold the shipping before I decide whether I'll order some more. Maybe I'm done shopping for this time. Anyway, I'll show it to you when I get it. And then, like I mentioned, I really want to finish my yin yang dance sweater. That's sort of my number 2 priority. Of course, before Christmas, I'll have to knit the third beanie for my third niece. That's something that I have planned now. Then there are the mittens for my younger sister. Then I have a shawl that I'm gonna knit for my older sister. Um, and maybe next time, which will be next year, I'll have a small summary on what I have done this year on my projects. Just a short one, because if you have been watching my podcast, you know what I've done, but you won't for you won't remember everything. I'll just give you some statistics maybe next year. Next year, yeah, next year, next time. Yeah, um, that's sort of the things I have planned now. We're going to my, like I mentioned, we're going to my mom's for Christmas. Uh, we'll possibly go and see maybe my brother-in-law, maybe my sister-in-law who also moved, and we haven't visited her yet in her new house, her and her family. So we might do that after Christmas, and then we often go to my father-in-law's somewhere after Christmas. So that's also sort of in the plans, but nothing specific. We just might come home and you know try and get some weight off, shed off. Yeah. Right. Okay. So here at the very end of this episode, I will have a bit of video on that I took on the Finnish Independence Day, or actually the previous evening. I went to the university, and there's a bridge there, and it had been lit um, blue and white, which are the colors of the Finnish flag, and it looked really nice. So I took a little bit of video of that. And on the Independence Day, my mother-in-law came over, And we had some steak, we had some, good food, some wine, and just, yeah, sort of relaxing. I had um, intended to watch the President's Independence Day party or whatever it's called on TV, but uh, we haven't had our TV uh, hooked or the wires hooked. And when we started doing it on Independence Day, it started scanning the channels and voting, and in the end, you had to reboot the whole Digibox or something. So that didn't happen. But anyway, we just, sat and relaxed and talked, and it was a really nice day. And there were quite a few uh, cities outside of Finland which had lit some of their sites in uh, blue and white, and that was really great. I saw some photos online, and wow, and it was kind of touching too. So Finland 100, yay! 100 years of independence, and we had some sort of salutes from all around the world. So that was really nice. You'll see a video of the bridge here at the end of this episode. Now I'm gonna go and grab this stuff and put it up, hang it up to dry, because, ah, well, it's been snowing, not hard. It hasn't been snowing a lot, but it has been snowing a bit. So some of it has gone a bit wet. Anyway, I'm just gonna head back home, and whether you celebrate Christmas or not, I hope you have a little time off during Christmas, and at least around New Year. And I wish you happy holidays and a happy New Year, and I will see you sometime in 2018. Bye.